And for today, our guest is one of the re-electionist senator, Senate Minority Leader Alan Peter Cayetano. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
You have an opening statement, sir.
Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Again, praise God for this opportunity. Kung pwede magbigay lang ako ng konting comment dun sa LP Sona, the long playing Sona. That was very, what do you call this, positive in outlook. No? I think wala namang duda, and we have to give it to the President, that the numbers look very good. The numbers look very good, and there are a lot of things that happened in the last few months, especially in the economy, sa kahit anong criteria, that made the President very confident in giving his SONA. No? Some of this, for example, sa slide na to, yung optimism sa business na number 2 ang rank ng Pilipinas. Again, if you, parati ko sinasabi, why always compare yourself with the past administration? You also have to compare yourself with your neighbors, no? Kasi yan ang kakumpetensya natin. So in this slide, kitang-kita naman talaga that sobrang optimism sa ating bansa, which is good for business and will be good for creating jobs, no? Sa second slide, which binanggit na din ng Pangulo, yung performance ng ating stock market, di ba? Na maganda din, no? Sa third slide, I just like to show this to show that nung binabanggit niya yung environment, and with all the discussion about the environment, about mining issues and everything, kung makikita mo, although number 42 tayo sa environmental performance, medyo nakadikit naman tayo sa Singapore, Thailand, well, medyo mas mataas ang Malaysia, but halos nandun din sa 57.4 points, sila 62.5, no? So, definitely in saying that the numbers are good, even si dating NEDA Director General, si Shell Habito, no, in his article yesterday, parati niyang ginagamit yung pitik, yung presyo, trabaho, kita, instead of using the official GNP, GDP, etc. No? And even him said na parang naka-align yung tatlong yon, na parang gumaganda ang presyo kasi yung inflation bumababa, talagang dumadami ang trabaho, and then ang kita medyo lumalaki, no? Ako, I'd rather use this informal manner of judging the government rather than the usual GDP, GNP. Kasi kung titignan nyo halimbawa yung unemployment or underemployment, no? While the President said that there's so much jobs, halos kalahati ng ating mga kababayan, or at least 1/3, nakapanood ng SONA kasi wala nang trabaho. Because if you look at the official, definition of employment, magtrabaho ka lang ng 1 hour sa isang araw, no? Or magtrabaho ka sa pamilya mo, meron ka ng trabaho, di ba? But actually, ang hinahanap ng tao, yung mabuhay nila yung kanilang pamilya. That's precisely why we have 10 million Filipinos abroad. And of course, the other countries na hindi maraming OFW, yung employment rate nila will reflect the totality of sum of all people in their country. Sa atin kasi, may 10 million ka nang nasa labas eh. So, syempre, hindi na sila kasama dun sa unemployed dito sa ating bansa. But if you're going to ask them to return all today, may makakasama sila sa employed or unemployed. Meaning, much better than the Arroyo administration, may gains, yes. But hindi dapat yun yung basihan. So going into the next slide, I just wanted to show you this because dun nakapula, no, sabi nga ng Pangulo, na tinatarget nila ngayon is 4.5 million. And yes, we have to give it to him that from 3.5 million in 2010, naging 3.9 million in 2011, at kung ma-achieve yung 4.5 million na turista sa 2012, mapapakita talagang malalaki gains. Pero again, why compare yourself just to the previous administration? Tignan niyo po ang Thailand, from 15 million to 19 million. Ang Malaysia, from 24 million, 200,000 lang nadagdag, but it's already 24 million. Ang Vietnam, kung saan hinahabol tayo sa halos lahat na aspeto ng iba't ibang pamantayan sa ekonomiya, already had 5 million in 2010. Samantalang tayo, 4.5 lang ang ating 2 years later, which is this year. Last year, they had 6 million. And Indonesia, which has similar problems that we do, from 7 million to 7.6 million, I guess they're targeting maybe 8 or 8.5 million this year. So, doble natin, no? So, the reason I show this is, I think, napaka-productive, no? Hindi to criticism. Medyo na-criticize ng Pangulo yung mga nagre-criticize. Totoo, meron mga nagre-criticize for the sake of criticism. But meron din mga nagre-criticize to spark a policy debate, di ba? So, ang nagustuhan ko naman sa SONA niya, in some aspects, meron mga objectives. For example, he said that by 2013, the end of 2013, ay wala ng classroom shortage. So at least meron tayong pamantayan at the end of 2013 to gauge him by. At least merong goal ang DepEd at tayong lahat ang gustong tumulong, no? But that's why these charts like this are important. Because when he says ang goal natin 4.5 million, we can criticize or we can have a debate why 4.5 million only compared sa ibang mga bansang to. Ano meron ang ibang mga bansa na to na wala tayo? And if we have 10 million Filipinos abroad, can you imagine all of them magyaya lang ng isang turista pabalik ng Pilipinas? Talo mo, nadoble mo na yung goal this year na 4.5 million, naging 10 million, no? I'm saying it that way because every time the President speaks, especially sa SONA, may opportunity ka to reach out to people. May opportunity ka to say na ito ang tunay na state of the nation ng bansa, ito mga problema, ito opportunity, sumama ka sa akin. So, I'm hoping that, and then sa last slide, no, kung gaano tayo ka-competitive pagdating sa, medyo malabo lang ng konti, no, sa tourism, we're number 94 out of 139, no? So, a lot of work has to be done. So, for me, the SONA is a good start. It shows momentum, it shows positive steps. Pero, ang proposal ko, to have more policy speeches ang Presidente, and then more opportunities for healthy policy debate. So regardless if we're going to be in a coalition o hindi, dapat may healthy exchange of ideas among the political parties, no? May it be people in coalition like the LP and NP, or may it be the UNA or other political parties, even the party of the former president, Lakas NUCD, diba? They're free to not only criticize, but have counter proposals. So another example I can give you is pinakita yung dami ng kalye na ginagawa. Let's compare it then sa dami o haba ng kalye sa ibang bansa. But meron na ba tayong debate whether ano bang mas dapat? Dagdagan ng airports, dagdagan ng railways, dagdagan ng ports para sa mga barko or kalye, no? Because you cannot do all of them at the same time. So it's not enough that we tell people eto ang mga madadagdag. Kasi hindi pa nga tapos yung debate, ano ba ang pinaka-efficient sa mga transportation systems para yung delivery ng goods at ng people ay mas magmura at mas maging efficient. No? Lastly, on the separate issue on the bail, no, na ibinigay kay President Arroyo, a lot of people were not surprised because there's only one reason for a person to be there's only one reason why a person who is accused of a crime that carries a capital punishment, no, reclusion perpetua or life imprisonment or higher, to be granted bail, no. That is if the evidence of guilt is not strong, no, or in other words is weak. At kung pwede kong basahin sa inyo yung part ng decision, thus, from the evidence so far presented before it, the court is convinced that the prosecution was able to prove with sufficient evidence the active participation of accused Lintang Vidol during the 2007 election. Dun sa baba, the prosecution was likewise able to establish strong evidence of guilt on the part of accused Ampatuan Sr., no? Pero pagdating po kay GMA, the court, on the other hand, believes that the prosecution failed to establish with the required quantum of evidence, with quantum of proof, the Arroyo. the only evidence presented by the prosecution that will link accused Arroyo to the alleged conspiracy is the testimony of engineer Nori Unas, whose credibility is seen by the court to be tainted with doubt. Unsupported by other evidence to corroborate such testimony, the same could not be given such weight and probative value that will be sufficient to establish a strong evidence of guilt on the part of accused Arroyo. Okay. Nasabi ko po kahapon na kumbaga sa isang tao, ang kaso na to nasa ICU o naghihingalo. Bakit po? Hindi pa patay ito dahil meron pang trial. Meaning may oportunidad pa ang prosecution na ibigay o i-present lahat ng ebidensya. All the evidence can still be presented. They're not limited. COMELEC and DOJ are not limited on the number of witnesses, what kind of evidence that they want to present. I mean, the whole nation watched the impeachment proceeding. Nakita nyo naman yung paano mag-present ng ebidensya. Ang sinasabi ko, from the start, yung case build-up pa ay ginawa ng husto ng COMELEC at ng DOJ. Kasi yung investigasyon ay napaka-importante dito. The COMELEC promised us that they will investigate the 2004 and 2007 election. Then they made a joint panel with DOJ. First yan, bakit? Sa dating batas, ang pwede lang, in the old law, it is only the COMELEC that can prosecute election cases. I was the one who proposed in 2007 the change na isama ang DOJ because in my personal experience, pagka taga-COMELEC, pag meron taga-COMELEC na kasama sa sindikato or boss nung gumawa ng masama sa COMELEC, hindi na mapro-prosecute yun dahil pro-protektahan niya yung tao niya. Meaning if a commissioner or director tells someone in the field, do this, may protection na eh. But at least if you can go to DOJ, DOJ can also prosecute. So the problem now with a joint prosecution panel, yung ownership, sino bang accountable? So katulad ngayon na sinasabing mahina yung evidence, sinasabi lang ng DOJ at saka ng COMELEC, hindi, malakas. Eh judge na nagsabing mahina eh. Lahat naman ng prosecutor magsasabi malakas yung kaso nila. Pero kaya nga ang tawag sa judge eh. Dahil siya mag-judge whether malakas o hindi. Okay? Ang problema, hindi nila tinuloy yung investigasyon dun sa mga galamay. Diba, that's the difference between a mastermind. They're alleging that GMA, former president, was a mastermind and conspiracy. Napakahirap talaga ipatunayan ang conspiracy at pagiging mastermind. That's why in organized crime, like katulad sa US and in Europe, or kaya pagka, halimbawa, mga mafia, diba, anong ginagawa nila? Kinakasuhan yung mga galamay sa ilalim, kine-case build-up ito, tapos magkakaroon ng direct link at yun ang kakanta kung anong inutos sa kanila. Imposible naman sa laki ng dayaan sa 2007. Doon na lang sa mga lugar na nadaya si Coco Pimentel or doon na lang sa ARM, di ba? Yung nakita nyo naman yung witness nung hearing ni Senator Pimentel, no? Nakita nyo naman yung mga Board of Canvassers hindi makasagot kung bakit kitang-kita na sa papel na nagkadayaan, tinuloy pa rin nila yung canvassing, no? So, let me stop there, but ang advice ko sa COMELEC at saka sa DOJ, okay, file kayo ng MR, okay, sabihin nyo malakas ang ebidensya, pero build up the case. But I think the administration should see na pag pinabayaan nila itong kaso na ito, yung anti-graft move nila severely affected. Kasi hindi sila naglagay ng ibang paraan. Halimbawa, di ba, yung Truth Commission, hindi natuloy yun. Yung FOI bill, hindi pa napapasa. That's why we were hoping na nabanggit din to, no? So, institutionally, or process-wise, wala pang sistema for graft and corruption sa ating bansa kung hindi yung dating mga batas that have shown to be a failure. So, ang nagiging show window or nagiging centerpiece ng gobyerno na to, yung mga kaso katulad nitong laban kay President Arroyo, yung mga kaso laban kay Chief Justice Corona. Pero kung pati yun mag-fail, maglalakas na naman loob ng mga corrupt. So, ang advice ko, dalawa, di ba? Ayusin lang yung investigasyon at yung case build-up, yung mga Garci Boys, 2004-2007 election. Ang problema, tatamaan nito, mga taga-COMELEC. In fact, may mga hanggang ngayon na matataas sa COMELEC, na promote pa o may commissioner, nandun siya noong 2007 election. So, baka the DOJ has to take over completely, or Chairman Villates has to have a special untouchable team, no? So anyway, nandun na tayo ngayon, but definitely, the administration cannot afford, no, to allow the President, no, to get off because kulang yung ebidensya. That will be an injustice sa lahat ng inape, lahat ng hinaras, may mga pinatay pa because of these two elections.
Sir, are you saying that there's something wrong dun sa naging strategy sa pag-file ng kaso? Sabi niyo nga dapat nag-focus muna dun sa mga ganamay. Nagkaroon ng case build-up, saka kinasuhan sila dating Pangulong Gloria Arroyo.
Mahirap naman ang magsalita on hindsight because nagmamadali talaga sila doon dahil kailangan nila i-file yung kaso. What I'm saying is, di ba si Director Rafanan, nagtuturo na nga siya ng mga ibang direktor, pero siya pa yung natanggal doon sa investigating committee. And then afterwards, they kept on announcing na hindi pa tapos yung investigasyon. Inuna lang nila si dating governor, si Lintang Bidol at saka si Presidente Arroyo. Pero may mga kasunod pa silang kakasuhan kasi hindi naman pwede magdaya yung tatlong ito na walang mga ginamit sa ilalim to pull the trigger, di ba? Ito yung mga to, yung sinasabi nilang mga kinasuhan ngayon, ito yung mga nagplano. Pero may mga tao sa ilalim na silang gumawa, tapos katulad kay Mr. Lintang Bidol, di ba? Sabi niya, willing siya mag-testify, willing siya magturo. Pero bakit hindi siya ginagamit na state witness at hanggang ngayon siya ang kinukulong at siya ang kinakasuhan? Di ba? So, makikita mo, there's something wrong in the way that the case is proceeding. Nangyayari, imbis na lumalakas yung kaso, humihina.
But it's not too late, sir.
It's not too late, as the court spokesman herself said, no? This is only the hearing for the bail. There are cases, and there were cases in the past where sinabi the evidence of guilt is not strong insofar as the bail is concerned, but then nag-step up yung mga prosecutors at pinakita yung ebidensya na na-convict din yung akusado.
Sir, COMELEC said they will file motion for reconsideration. Ano yung chance na ma-reverse pa yung naging decision na yun ng Pasay RTC?
Well, there's always a 50-50 percent chance, no? But they will have to show the judge something that hindi niya nakita the first time around. Kung i-reiterate lang nila yung mga dati na sinabi, klarong-klaro dito yung hindi naman pwedeng sabihin ng judge, bigla na lang nagiging credible sa kanya ngayon si Engineer Unas, di ba? Kasi sinabi niya na dito na walang corroboration at duda siya sa credibility, no? Maybe they can present other witnesses. I don't know exactly the procedure at the stage of it, but meron mga ibang kaso na hinaharap ang Pangulo. So, kasi dapat natin ma-realize na parang yung mga organized crime sa abroad yung hindi ito katulad ng preventive suspension na kaya mo inaalis sa pwesto, di ba? It is more like preventive suspension in the sense that, di ba, kaya mo preventively suspend ang isang empleyado, hindi para siya parusahan, kasi hindi pa naman siya guilty, pero para hindi niya magamit ang pwesto niya. So, itong mga non-bailable crimes, precisely one reason why they hold you, di ba? Para limitado yung galaw mo. Abroad, i-freeze pa nga yung assets mo Kasi sa ating bansa, napakatibay ng the higher you get, the more money you get, the more untouchable you are, no? So, being out on bail gives her so much freedom to be able to move. Marami na nagsabi dati na naharas sila. Marami na nagsabi na na-kidnap, etc. ganyan, no? So, I'm not pointing fingers right now, but kung ikaw witness, yung inaakusahan mo biglang nakawala. Diba? Ikaw ba, gaganahan ka mag-witness or lalo kang mawawalan ng loob na mag-witness? So, I'm just saying the whole situation, diba, is going from bad to worse.
Sir, ang impression, yung pag-grant kay GMA na makapag-post ng bail, preview na towards dismissal of the case.
Kung hindi magbabago, dun na papunta yun.
And Jam? Ayun. Akati, do you have...
If the DOJ and COMELEC takes the same direction and insist na strong ang case nila by just presenting Engineer Unas, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see, based on this resolution, na papunta sa dismissal ng case. No? And remember, sa ating bansa, you cannot try the same person for the same crime twice. May double jeopardy. So we have to be very careful with this. Kasi baka imbis na ma-prosecute ng gusto, magkaroon pa ng immunity via double jeopardy ang Pangulo. Remember sa 2004, walang electoral sabotage pa doon. So iba pa ikakaso mo sa 2004 election. That's why importante yung 2007 dahil non-bailable at merong bagong crime sa 2007 na electoral sabotage.
Sir, now that GMA is out on bail, can we say na naka-score talaga ng malaki ang kampo ni former President Gloria Arroyo? And is it a big blow dun sa anti-corruption campaign of the Aquino administration?
I think it's a temporary blow in the sense that mapapakita natin na it's not, it's not enough that nakasuhan isang tao. You have to be diligent and you have to, hindi mo pwedeng tigilan di ba? You have to be, continue to study, continue to research, continue to investigate and everything. It's a lesson for those in government. But it's really also a point for democracy kasi kung dictatorship to or kung hindi tayo sumusunod sa rule of law, napakadali, di ba? Dahil hindi mo na lilitisin ikukulong mo na lang, no? So I wouldn't say that the victory is one-sided on the side lang of President Arroyo, di ba? What I'm saying is that obligasyon ng gobyerno, in the same manner that when the Arroyo government came into power, makikita mo, pati mga private lawyers, pati NGOs, pati civil society, nagtulong-tulong para i-prosecute ang dating Pangulong Erap. But ngayon, hindi naman humingi ng tulong ang COMELEC, hindi naman humingi ng tulong ang DOJ, paulit-ulit pa nga ang COMELEC na kami na mag-iimbestiga, kami na bahala dito. And then lalabas na kulang ka ng witness, di ba? So, that's what I'm saying, parang state of the nation yan. Sabihin mo na kung ano yung problema para mapagtulong-tulungan. Kasi nga, napakarami ng nasaktan, natamaan, lahat ng bumoto para kay President Aquino, kay Senator Lacson, sa akin, kay Senator Coco, at sa ibang local positions na hindi binilang ang boto, complainant dito nasaktan dito Puwera pa yung napatay, puwera pa yung nakidnap, na-harass and everything. So, kung gusto nyo na ang 2013, 2016 elections in the future ay maging tahimik at maging credible, ipakita natin na ikukulong natin hindi lang ang mga mastermind, pero pati mga nagpapagamit sa COMELEC at ibang ahensya. Pero so far, parang wala kasi nga yung mga Garci boys, hindi nakasuhan, na-promote pa.
Okay, Ina.
Sir, nabanggit ka kanina, ang problema kapag joint prosecution tayo, mahirap to po yun kung sino yung accountable. Pero sa nangyari ngayon, sa tingin niyo, sino ba yung nagpabaya?
Is it DOJ or COMELEC?
Dun sa pag-conduct ng additional investigation at ituloy yung investigation, kaya ako nasasabi na kulang kasi may sarili kaming investigasyon dito sa Senado And just by calling witnesses and grilling them, nakikita natin na whether by negligence or meron talagang ginawa overtly, may mga involved sa 2007 election na promote pa sa COMELEC. So ang point ko, bakit nga itong joint group of prosecutors, whether it's from the COMELEC side, whether it's the DOJ side, have we heard anything from them after na-file yung kaso? For baka meron. Pero wala I mean, hindi natin naririnig, hindi natin nakikita, and then wala naman silang kinasuhan afterwards. And how long has it been, di ba? It's been 2 years since the 2010 election. It's been 5 years since 2007 election. It's been 8 years to the 2004 election. Every single day na tumatagal yung investigasyon, nawawala yung ebidensya, nawawala yung trail, dumadagdag ang padrino ng mga involved dito, So, I don't mean to just point fingers and say na DOJ, COMELEC, but sila yung nag-iimbestiga at empleyado ng COMELEC. Sana kung naka-freeze or nasa freezer yung ibang mga Garci boys, pwede mong sabihin hindi sila makahanap ng ebidensya, pero at the same time, may action sila Pero ang nangyari, na-promote pa yung marami. At nakita niyo naman yung isang direktor, di ba, nung nandito sa hearing dito, hindi niya masagot kung bakit tinuloy yung canvassing, kung bakit mali-mali yung binibilang nila and everything. And then ang sabi niya, wala daw ibang nag-a-apply, kaya na-promote daw siyang direktor. So, my point is, huwag nating sabihin, COMELEC did a good job in promoting him or in allowing him. Obviously, he had something to do with the 2007 election, whether by negligence or may maituturo siya. Pero ano incentive niya magturo ngayon? Hindi naman siya nakasuhan, na-promote pa siya. Then ang incentive niya, tumahimik.
So sir, from the very start, yun na yung impression nyo, ganito na yung kahinatnan ng electoral sabotage case against GMA?
Ganito yung naisip ko, pero I was hoping that mas malalim yung ebidensya. No? Because remember, katulad kay Engineer Unas, no? Pag sinabi mo kasing i-12-0 natin sila, hindi sapat yun eh. Lahat naman ng tao, pag nangangampanya, sinasabi 6-0, 8-0, 12-0, di ba, 16-0. Normal yun eh, nangangampanya ka nga. Sinasabi mo sa stage yan eh, na sana 12-0 tayo. It has to be more than that. So, according to Engineer Unas, meron naman more than that, na parang, I don't know the exact word, no, yayarin or whatever. But kung ikaw naman yung judge, di ba, former president and everything na ganyan, will you convict someone or say na evidence is strong na walang mga ibang ebidensya or hindi pa tinuturo saan exactly nangyari yung dayaan, paano nangyari yung dayaan, ano yung conspiracy, ano yung theme, di ba? Everyone who is prosecuting anyone, may theory yan. Nakita niyo yung impeachment ni President Erap at yung kaso dati, di ba? May theory sila. Kung sino, kung saan, kung bakit, saan napunta pera and everything, di ba? So whether you believe it or not, may case build-up yan, tapos may theory yan. Tapos ibebenta mo yung theory niyan sa judge. Pero even sa atin right now, tanong ko sa kayo, everyday na nanonood ng nagbabantay sa news eh. Anong theory ng prosecution niyo? Paano nila dinaya yung 2007 election? Until now, it's not clear eh. So I think that's the job of, without pointing fingers and not saying, wag na natin sisihin ang COMELEC at saka ang DOJ. Sisihin na natin lahat ang ating sarili, pati kami sa Senado. Nagkulang din kami sa investigation. Okay, let's find out what really happened in 2007. That's why ako personally, I'm going to talk sa Monday kay Senator Coco, although I talked to him 2 weeks ago and said na, you know, we have to continue the investigation. Sometimes it might not be as controversial or not as star-studded dahil wala tayong mga star witnesses or surprise witnesses. Yes, remember we have an ongoing inquiry into the cheating in the 2007 elections, di ba? Natigil lang yon dahil pumasok yung impeachment.
So proposal nyo, ituloy pa yung investigation?
Ituloy yun, kasi doon mo makikita, katulad naman nung nasa Sandigan Bayan na kaso ngayon eh, di ba? Halos lahat ng ebidensya na yun, dito din kinuha sa Senate investigation. That's why we're saying na sana galingan din nila yung investigasyon nila. Madalas natin marinig, Senado, Kongreso, wag na kayo mag-investiga, di ba? Pero nagpro-produce naman kasi ng resulta yung investigasyon ng Senado. So masisi mo ba yung mga senador na bagamat hindi prosecution ang main na function at yung intention ng investigation na yon, it does produce facts that can be used for prosecution that helps move the wheels of justice in our country.
Kathy?
Sir, you mentioned na, di ba, yung ibang involved sa cheating na promote pa. So there are probably a lot of areas throughout the country na ang mindset ng COMELEC eh highest bidder, di ba? Judging from history. So, where does Alan Peter Cayetano come in the scheme of things? Sir, re-electionist kayo eh. Tapos ganyan pa rin yung mindset ng mga tao. Eh, tapos, di ba, if you look at the bigger picture, magka-coalition ng NPC, LP, NP, how do you figure it?
That's true, pero walang diferensya sa mag-amang Pimentel, di ba? Ilan beses sila naging biktima ng dagdag bawas, pero that didn't stop former Minority Leader Senator Pimentel from fighting the COMELEC. So right now, I can tell you from a very high official,